Greetings, fellow Wastelanders, and welcome to part 4 of my settlement tour featuring Spectacle Island. This will be the final video in my Spectacle Island series, so if you have not seen the previous parts yet, I have linked to them below. Check them out first. This build was done on a PlayStation 5 using the Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition, which includes DLCs such as Nuka World and Far Harbor. I do not use any building mods, however, I do have Creation Club creations installed, so you will see some CC skins in my builds such as clothing and power armor decos. I do not use any actual CC build objects in this settlement. If you have any questions about how something is done in this video without mods, please feel free to ask in the comments below. We start our tour where we left off last time, the Minute Clinic, where the Minutemen go when they need medical attention. Now let's head on over to a different part of the island. Spectacle Island has several pre-existing structures when you arrive. These make for excellent starter buildings to build on top of. The structure we are approaching is one of them. The original shack here started relatively small, and I wound up glitching several pieces to it to expand the building. Next to it is a tent that I left alone since you cannot build it without mods. This spot right here is an interesting one because periodically a body respawns. The same happens inside the building. I moved both bodies for the purposes of this video, but I know they'll be back. This bridge allows Minutemen to quickly move from one guard station to another in case of an attack. The artillery piece is a mortar that can be built at your settlements. Since this is a Minuteman reserve and training settlement, it only made sense that one of these pieces would be built on this island. This platform extends out into the water to give the cannon some extra range. I also imagine this is where Minutemen can rest for a little bit before continuing their patrols around the island. Should there be combat, the Minutemen have an arsenal available to them, including a suit of power armor.
Next time I go to town, I'll dress up as an escort. If I pull that off, I'll be a legend.
Next up is one of the largest structures in this settlement, second only to St. Howard Market, Joe Becker Hall, named after the former Minuteman general. I've been wanting to build a combination cafeteria and recreational facility for a while now, but what I envisioned required a lot of room that most settlements simply do not have. Fortunately, Spectacle Island has space in spades, so I was able to build the structure here. Before we go inside, let's take a look at the exterior. I am not a big fan of structures that look too boxy, but let's be real, the core building here is basically a gigantic rectangle, so it was important to barnacle structures onto the exterior in sometimes irregular shapes to give Joe Becker Hall a distinct appearance. The interior of Joe Becker Hall has many influences. This platform, suspended from the ceiling with the plants, was inspired by a similar design I saw in a magazine. I deliberately made the ceiling section above it glass so sunlight could come through and light up the plants beautifully. This buffet counter was inspired by a now defunct chain of steakhouses in New York City known as Tad Steak. They used to have a counter where you could slide your tray along the edge as you grabbed food items and ordered from the chefs behind the counter. To create this buffet counter, I glitched together metal shelves from the shelves menu and counters from the furniture menu. Becker Hall isn't just about food, it's also about recreation. Here, the Minutemen can play games, listen to music, or even cut the rug a bit. What's important is that they have a place to enjoy themselves and relax when they're not on duty. And that is the final part of my Spectacle Island settlement tour. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you enjoy what I do, please consider subscribing. Kind comments are always appreciated. If you have any questions about something you have seen in this video, please leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer them in a timely manner. Special thanks to my patrons on Patreon who support my activities on Ben's World of Transformers and allow me to create these videos. Until next time, stay safe in the wasteland.